Yep, good to be here again. And for those of us who are trying to join me, I am here to give you what will save you a lifetime. So if you are seeing this video, do well to share the link with everyone that you deem that needs this. There's been a lot of wastages. Okay, I'm going to hold this just for a while because I know that we should have a lot of us here. So let me try and share this with one or two of my persons that will need this. If I do that, you get your comment. Get your comment. Right. So if you're coming into this live video or you'll be coming later, the first thing for you to do before you even start listening, just like this video. I'm having a little bit of technical issues, but we are going to get that. Okay, we are up. In this live session, in this video, I'm going to teach you how to calculate the number of tiles. Good evening, thank you. Do well to share the link with as many as possible. If you are here and you have not hit the like button, you are not recognized. And why I'm doing this, I know that even if I leave this video and I say I wouldn't do it, it will take a lifetime for some persons to realize that things like this should be handled curiously. Now, let me ask you a question, you that is here in this video now. Otibe Ima, thank you for joining me. Jude, thank you. Mara Abdullah, everyone, Eddie Tommy, thank you for coming up here live. But you know one thing, if you have not just hit the like button, I'm not happy with you. So go ahead and hit the like button if you are with me and if you want me to continue with this video. Get the likes coming up now so that as many as possible will hear this good news that I'm about to tell you. Firstly, have you seen a situation whereby somebody built a house and at the point where he wants to do the finishing, possibly it was a direct labor job, he ended up not having maybe the architect, or he had only the artisan with him, and the artisan comes into the building and tells him that he will need so much cartons of tiles for him to be able to tile the house. And at that point, he begins to feel that it's not actually going to be feasible. Then at that point, maybe he wanted to have a quality kind of tile. He will start going down to the kind of tile that he doesn't really want. Okay, fine. If you've seen such a scenario, then you have to hold on here. If you have not, it's about to happen, because the artisans have so much knowledge about these things that, you see, somebody will be a professional and ends up allowing the artisan to be the one to dictate for him. So now I see I have the people who are meant to be here. So let's get started. Actually, what I want to let all of us here to know is that calculating the number of tile in your space is actually a very simple task, but it is most oftentimes being ignored or left in the hands of those who don't really have the knowledge, or those who may also overprice the clients. And as an architect, as a technician, as a client as well, it is important for you to know how to calculate the quantity of material required for a particular space. For this video, it is specifically the tile for a room. So take for instance, I'm going to show you a bit of, I'm going to show you in my screen, but in this live video, I cannot actually give you the screen. So what I'll do, I'll show from my system, and I expect that you follow me as we go. So I will switch. You may not see me, you will only see my screen. So let's get going. All right. I see that we okay. Hold on. Let's get to see the board. All right. Now, just typically, so you get to see what I have in stock. Imagine this space, because when you are going to calculate for tile in a space, you are actually going to take it in bits, because some spaces might differ. Like this one you are seeing here is a bedroom. You can see bedroom here, right? If you are seeing this bedroom 1, type a yes. If you are seeing a bedroom 1, type a yes. If you are following me, type a yes here, straight up. All right, so bedroom 1, as you see, has dimensions. I'm going to take this a bit fast, and at the end of this video, I've already prepared a slide that will be shared on this channel as well, where I'm going to give you actually detailed and shared screen from my system so that you see it clearer. But I'm taking you through this. If you have difficulty in understanding, you can ask questions here. Okay, fine, I believe that everybody is here with me. So good. So you can see the space. Can you see the dimensions? Can you see the dimensions? If you see the dimensions, type dimension here. All right, good. Otibima, fine, you are following me. If you need the screen to be wider, let me know. But if it's not, I think we'll continue. Oh, great. Good, Ododo, I'm happy that you get it. So the dimensions here that we have is 3.9 by 4.5, right? If you look at this corner here where my cursor is, we have 1275 and 1725. All of those or these dimensions are in millimeters, mind you, and most times you'll find that in your drawing. Architectural drawings will bear that. And so imagine that you are in a site. Not really clear. Okay. Sometimes it could be your internet that is causing that, if it's not really clear. But let me know if this is better. Is this better? If it is better, type better. Okay, I'll continue. As I said, I'm going to send a clearer link afterwards, but this one, because we had to keep to our time, I have to take you through, and I want you to ask questions where you don't understand. You are free to type your questions here. I'm seeing whatever you are typing here, so go ahead and type your question. Fine. We have 3,900 and 4,500 millimeters. So if you are asked to calculate the number of tiles, or if you are to calculate the number of tiles within this space, what will be the first thing for you to consider? Sometimes it could be quite, confusing, and somebody will be wondering, what should I do? What should I not do? But there are steps that you need to follow. You might take a piece of paper and write, I have 13 people here and I have 11 likes. It is wrong. I said, if you come into this video, do well to hit the like button. It is very important that you do that. Okay, fine. Now, we get to step 1. The first thing to do is to convert all your dimensions to what? You convert them to, okay, great. Is to convert all your dimensions to the unit of measurements that is acceptable, and that is the unit that you present. Okay, now, if you have, look at this, I'm going to show you this because we have a bit of description. Now, look at this. What we have here, for the space that you are going to be working on, you have a description of 40 cm by 40 cm ceramic tile floor finish. Can you see that? If you can see it, go ahead and tell me that you can see it. Say, I can see. All right. And we also have a 60 cm by 60 cm granite tile floor finish. If it is clear, right? Clear. Fine. Now, for each of the tile, there are quantities like this. 40 cm by 40 cm has 12 pieces in a carton, while 60 cm by 60 cm has 4 pieces in a carton. Then we also have information on the area per carton. So per carton, you have something like 1.92, and the unit of measurement of that is in meter square, because we are looking at the area of tile in that carton. While that of 60 by 60, we have 1.44 meter square. The crux of the matter now is that how are we going to calculate to know the number of tiles that is required in this your fantastic space? Okay, so if you need to know how many in number for this space, you first need to convert everything, both the tile and the area of the space, to the same unit. Remember that the space here is in millimeters, while the tile is in centimeter. So I'll take you through here immediately, and look at this. What I say you should do here first for you to calculate that is 1. Step 1, what do you do? Is somebody seeing me? Convert the dimensions of the space from millimeters to meters. By doing what? By dividing it by 1,000. Okay? So if you divide, great. If you divide 4.5, look at my cursor here. If you divide 4,500 millimeter by 1,000, what would you have? Let's be a bit practical. And you see, it's good for you to have your calculator handy. So 4,500 divided by 1,000. What would you have? You have 4.5. That is why when you see 4,500 millimeters, it implies 4.5 meters. If this is clear, say I hear. If this is clear, type I hear you. All right, not clear. Okay, somebody hears me, and I want to know what is not clear. Is it the screen or what I am saying? Great. I think that everybody is in the same page. Everyone can hear me now. Great. All right, so I will move to the next option, to the next dimension, which is that of 3.9. If you do the same thing to 3.9, what would you, sorry, 3900, you will have 3.9 meters. Okay? These steps are very clear, and it is good that you follow it in steps so that you don't mix it up. But remember, what I am showing you here is only for this space from here to here. So it is for the main compartment of the room. But we have a nook which is tucked into this corner. And this corner is actually where the entrance of the room is. And it leads to the toilet one that we have here. So you also need to calculate that area so that you can add it to the other one, and it will give you the total area of the space. So what do? You apply the same principle, and that principle is that you will convert 1257 millimeters and 1725 millimeters to meters. What do? I said divide it by 1000. If it is millimeters, what do? You divide by 1000. If you hear, please type 1000. If you hear me well, type 1000. Whether in the comments, anytime you are watching this thing and you hear this, type 1000. Okay, great. Perfect. That's it. Okay, so if you do that, what you will have will become what? You will now have 1.275 meter and 1.725 meter. All right, so we get that clear, and these are the two boxes. You may do well to want to sketch that out if you are an artisan, if you are an architect in training, if you have interest in tiling, anything at all that is related, or even you want to tile your space. And how do you sketch that out? I did a small sketch somewhere. Okay, maybe you could just do something like this here. Let's see on this plan. All right, let us get this in here. Okay, for you to get that out, you may choose to use your please let me know if it is clear. I trust it is. Now, you may choose to use your dimensions to just take it and measure the way I measured it here. All right, and you sketch it out. Once you sketch it out, then you move on to the addition aspect. Now, so if you have done that, you find that you have the main room area to be 4.5 meters by 3.9. If you multiply 4.5 by 3.9, this is what you will get. Somebody is watching this video and the person has not liked this video. If you don't like it, I think you should not be watching it, please. But if what I'm telling you is vital for you, then go ahead and hit the like button. Great. So I said, let us do a bit of this calculation together. Remember that you need to have your calculators. If you are good with mental math, very good. So I said 4.5 multiplied by 3.9. 3.9. What do you have there? You have 17.55. Is that what we have here? If that is what we have here, then great, perfect. So it means that we are correct. That's for the main space. While the additional space that I told you about and you saw with me has 1.275 meters. And if you multiply it by 1.725, it will give you what? 2.199375 meters square. Now the big question is, why are we allowing the long decimal? If you convert the decimal at this point, you may have excess or less, so it means it will not be accurate. So at this point, don't break the decimal, leave it as you have. So if you have done that one, the next step is, or rather still in step 2, calculating your area, is to add 17.55. So somebody should tell me what it is. 17.55 plus 2.199375. I have already done it, and what we have here is 19.749375, and it is all in meter square. Okay, great. What next? You actually need to do step 3. And for step 3, you cannot do any calculation of your area if you do not know the unit area of one tile. Remember that we are looking for the quantity of tiles. So you need to know what the unit area is of one tile. The size of tile that we are to use in this bedroom 1 is 40 by 40. I repeat, the size of tile to be used in this bedroom 1 is 40 by 40 cm. So, if you are using 40 by 40 in the bedroom, then you need to find the unit area. But remember that this 40 by 40 is in centimeters. So what do you do at this point? You need to convert it from centimeters to meters. And how do you do that? You will quickly divide it by 100. So if you divide 40 cm by 100, you will have 0.4 meters. Why are you dividing it by 100? 100 centimeters make 1 meter. So if you are converting anything in centimeter to meter, you must divide it by 100. If you understand that, say right. Say right if you understand that. RIGHT. Right if you are getting the message. If you are not getting, please don't type anything on. All right. I proceed, and perfect. I'm happy that you are following. So you can now move ahead. Perfect. That is it. Obaita, you are in order. You are perfectly in order. So if we have 0.4, you just have to multiply 0.4 by 0.4. If you have your calculator close by there, you can use it. But if you don't have, you can make use of my own. But I think it is better you have your own because you will need it very soon. Okay? So if you make this multiplication, what do you have? 0.16. A quick question. What is a computer? The reason why I am asking that question, because somebody will be asking, so why is he teaching us calculation. A computer, as you may know, is an electronic device which is capable of doing what? Somebody should tell me now. Somebody should just drop the definition for me here. I want to see you. If you know what a computer means, but if you don't know what computer means, you can just be quiet. Okay? So this calculator that we are using here, is an electronic device, and it is capable of taking in data and giving out, right? And you know the commands are already, anyway, I will not tell you that. Go and find that out. All right. Perfect, Mr. Hilarious. Go and look at what computer is before you tell me. It accepts data now, we know that. And I've given, thank you very much. You are in order. And send it out as whatever, based on specific commands that are in it. You are in order. So you need to hit the key points. There are about 4 key points or 5 in the definition of a computer. So I just wanted you to know that computer is what we are working on, right? So the next level of this is how to calculate the number of tiles required. I'm hopeful that you are seeing me clearly, because I wouldn't want you to miss any part of this calculation. So if you divide the total area of the room by the area of one tile, you will be able to have the total number of tiles. Let us see whether we are getting the message. So total area of the room, remember that the total area of the room was the sum of the main part and the additional part. So you could actually name that main part A and the small part B. Remember that you can only do that when you have, if you don't have a regular shape, you need to take them in bits so that you can get it accurately. So if you do that, you divide it by the area of one tile. Okay, great. Okay. What do you say you know, so that I can get that? Okay, so you divide it, I won't throw it because this guy knows it, and I believe that every other person knows it all. So if you divide, you have 123.45. Actually, that is going to be in number, because the total area is in meter square, and the area of one tile is also in meter square. So if you cancel meter square from the total area with the one of the area of one tile, you have only number. So it means that the number of tile is in number, and number is pieces. Okay, great. So if you do this calculation, this is what you get. And this is not a whole number. So for tile doesn't come in this, it doesn't come in fraction. It comes in whole, in pieces. It comes in one full tile. So you need to quickly convert this to the nearest whole number. Even though this one is not up to, but if you short it, 123 will not enough. You have a shortage. So you take the nearest whole number, which is 124. And that is the information that you have here already positioned for you. Is this clear? So since you cannot use fraction, what did I say? You round it up to the nearest whole number. So the total number of tiles that you need for that room is what? 1. Yes, you approximate at the time where you reach the total number. Don't approximate while you are coming up. You approximate when it has gotten to, when you say, like this one, total number of tiles. At that end point, you can approximate, which we have 1, 2, 4. Now, Step 5 is important. And in step 5, you need to calculate the number of tiles in cartons. Yes, Theodora Edu, that is part of it. It's not complete. So go and get the complete part of it, okay? Okay. Remember, with our information earlier given, that a carton of tile here had of 40 by 40 had how many? Can somebody tell me how many tiles are in a carton of 40 by 40? If I don't get feedback, I will assume that nobody wants to see this. Perfect. So I continue. So I can take this off the way. So with 12 being a number in the carton, you can just quickly, you know what to do now. For you to get number of carton, you see number of tiles divided by total number per carton. So that's 124 divided by 12. And the answer is 10.33. Now 10.33 is what you have as the number of carton, but you know now cartons doesn't come in fraction. Carton comes in whole. Now it means that you have 10 cartons and there is extra. This can be a bit tricky, and I'm going to give you that trick here now. Look at this scenario where somebody already has the same the same kind of tile from previous room that he was doing, and he wants to complete another room. He already had extra. He wants to know this 0.33, what is it? Not just telling me go and buy 11 cartons, which is actually what in a clean slate, that's what you could buy. But in a situation whereby there is excess and we need to know how many more do we need. So the question will be, what is 0.33? So you need to find out 0.33 of 12. And so if we do this rough arithmetic in the traditional way, you would say 12, this 12 goes into 124. How many times? It is 10 times. And 10 times 12 is what? 120. How many is remaining? Is 4. And that 4 means 4 over 12. So it means that 10.33 means that you have 10 cartons and extra 4 pieces. Are you getting the message? Perfect. Hilarious. You are a mathematician. So, but the 4 pieces, if we want to do a fresh job, you may have to round it up to the nearest whole number so that you can have 11 cartons. So if you are asked to provide the number of cartons, you will say it is 11. But if you are asked to provide the number of pieces or the number of cartons and pieces, it is 10 cartons and 4 pieces. If you write 11, you may be wrong, because we are looking at accuracy here, and that is what computer helps us to do. So you can replace that your 0.33 to 10 cartons and 4 pieces. Are you getting the point? So that is it in that case. But now I want you to also check out this, because it is not just about tiling the floor, it is also about skirting. So if you are to skirt, what do you do in this scenario? To calculate the number of tiles required for skirting the space, you need to do this. Step 1, you need to understand the size of the skirt that you need. And on the normal consideration. Skirt is 10 cm. It's always 10 cm above the floor. So if our tile dimension is 40 cm by 40 cm, which we had agreed that it will be 0.4 meters by 0.4 meters, it means our skirt of 10 cm will be 0.1 meter. Are you getting the point? So the skirting uses this dimension, and skirting is not measured in meters square, mind you. So step 2 takes us to answering that question for skirting, and for you to get that, follow me. Yeah, for you to get that, you need to hold on. Perfect. So step 2 is to calculate the perimeter of the space. We'll use the same dimensions because we have already determined that it is 4.5 and 3.9. So you just multiply 4.9 by 3.9. You know, that's for the main room dimension. And you will not multiply for perimeter anyway. For perimeter, what the formula for perimeter is 2 into bracket length plus breadth, which implies if you are using board mass, you will first of all treat the brackets before you treat the multiplication. In these times, the length and the breadth is 4.5 and 3.9. So you add the two up. If you add 4.5 and 3.9, you have 8.4. You multiply 8.4 by 2, you will have what? 16.8. Is this one clear? Okay, Ekikere, tell me where you are lost so that we fix it immediately. But you can do well because of the constraint of time that we have. I have very limited time more left. Because of time constraint, you can go back again and go through this to get it clearer. And while you are doing that, you'll be expecting another of this. Okay? Okay, skirting. We are going to the skirting, my dear brother, Hillary. Now, I said for the main room dimension, we have gotten 16.8. So if you followed me up to 16.8 meters, right there 16.8. If you did not, say I'm lost. All right, for additional space required, we do 1.275 plus 1.725, which are the dimensions that we got there. It is not 16. If you leave it at 16, you will be wrong, but 16.8. So if you add it up, you will have a total of 6.0 meters, which is 6 meters. If you add up 1.275 plus 1.725 and then multiply that by 2, which is actually going to, if you add it up, you have 3, and you multiply it by 2, you have 6. Then for you to get the total, you will add the one of the main area and the additional space. That will give us 22.8 meters. Remember, this is not in meter square anymore because it is perimeter. So for skirting, you are looking at perimeter. Let me show you so that you don't get lost, for the person who got lost. All right? Don't be lost again. Now, perimeter implies that you will be running your this is what you'll be doing from here to here, and you continue to here. Are you there with me? And to here, and to here. That is the entire length that we want to add. Let me give you a task here now for you to do. From here, from this distance to this point is what? Can somebody see what we have here? What is the distance that you're seeing there? We have 5175 in millimeters, which is 5.175. If you add it, now add 5.175 to this one, which is 1.5. So say 5.175 plus 1.5. Do that. Write it there, 1.1500, since we are using millimeters. Is that 1.5? Can you see it? This is the one I'm asking for. Can you see that? What do you have? Okay. That's correct. So if you continue and add this one, which is 1.275, add 1.275 to it. What do you have there? You add 1.275. If you don't say it, I will not tell you the answer. 7.95, great. And you move up to this point, continuing, you add 3 meters. What do you have? If you add 3 meters, you have 10.95. Add 3 meters, 10.95, correct. Then you move on here and add 3.9. What do you have there? $10.95 plus 3.9. $14.85, and you add, what do you add here? 4.5. What do you add here? 4.5. What do you have? You have 19.35. Right? Okay. If your own is 19.35, okay. So what you will do next is 19.35 divided by, is that what we have? Let's see. How come our own here is not 19.35? So there must have been an error somewhere, maybe in the calculation. There must have been an error in the calculation. Okay. Okay, I know where it comes from. So in this, you are correct, and I see where the error comes from. I think it's from my own end. So 19.35, and you divide it by what? Remember that the number of strips that you need per tile is, let me show you this so that you don't get confused. Now look at what I'm going to show you here. Are you with me? Look at this. $40 by $40. Okay. Now let's make it darker so that you can see it. This is 40 by 40, and each skirting requires 10 cm. So if I lift this up, I want to divide this by 4. You will have here 10. You have your 10. And another 10. That 10 is equal to 100 millimeters, okay? So you see, so it means that you will need to cut each tile into 4 like this for you to get the skirting. So it means that one tile will give you 4. Now, let us do this calculation together. What is the dimension you're seeing there? 0.4, right? 0.4 to show you that it's already done. And this one is 0. Supposed to be 0.1. Yeah, that's it. It's just that we're having 2 decimals there. So 0.4 and 0.1. Now, if you take this 0.4, one tile will give you 1 of this, 2 of this, 3 of this, 4 of this. So let's say you extend this. Into 4 places. 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? Let's check out something so that we will not be talking calculation that makes people not understand what they want to understand. Can somebody tell me what the length in meter of this would be? Can you tell me what the length in meter of this would be? Check that out. 1.6 meter. That is, if you take out these 3 and displace them in a linear form, because that's how the tile will be run on the side of the wall. If you understand this illustration, please just drop your comments clearly so that I know that you understand it. I really want you to understand it. Yes, 1.6, and the dimension is not millimeters because we had converted everything to meters. It's 1.6 meter. 1.6 meters. So now for you to find the number of skirts, remember that 1.6 meter is equal to 1 tile. Do you get the point? So now you are going to divide your 19.35, which is here. 19.35 is your perimeter. Perfect. Perfect. Clean. I like that. Thanks for understanding me. So 19.35 divided by How many? 1.6 equals to what? 12.09. If you go back and watch this video, you will understand. I'm sure you must have been distracted. Okay, now 12.09. It means that you will need 12 tiles and a little more, 0.9 of it. And you know that 0.9 of 12. Can somebody tell me what 0.9 of 12 is? Let me see if we have mathematician here. Convert it to fraction. 0.9 of 12 is what? It's very tiny, actually. You understand? It's very tiny. So what it means is that we will need, it's supposed to have been 12 tiles, but because of this small addition that has come up, it must be a whole number. So it means that you need 13 tiles to sketch this wonderful space. So for this room now, for 40 by 40, let's have a summary of it. For 40 by 40 of this room, how many tiles will we use? Tiling. So for tiling, we'll use how many cartons did we say we needed? Can somebody remind us? Okay, somebody said 0.9 is almost 10%. Okay, total number of tiles. Yeah, that's 11. That's what we needed. And for skirting, that's 11 cartons. So not just 11, 10 cartons, 4 pieces. Perfect. And in this one, we need 1 carton and 1 piece. So if you add it up for the total of that space, 10 carton, 4 pieces, and 12 carton, 1 piece. Sorry, 1 carton and 1 piece. Don't say 11 cartons. So don't say 11 cartons yet. So let's do that addition. 10 cartons and 4 pieces for the flooring and the skirting. 1 carton. Remember that 12 is in 1 carton. So 0.9 is just less than even reaching 1. You understand? So we are doing what? Can somebody add that up? Or should I add it for you? Okay. They want me to do the addition. I'm going to show you my calculator here. So get your own. Yeah, that's it. You don't need calculator. It's a mental math. So that's it. 11 cartons and 5 pieces, which is approximately how many cartons? Approximately how many cartons? Approximately how many cartons? Let's see who gets it first. So how many cartons will we need for bedroom 1? Perfect. That's it. I know that you will get it first. Okay. GP, you got it later now, so we've already gotten the first person who got it. So if you understand everything I'm telling you here, let me know from your comments. And I have the next 5 minutes to take on questions on this particular issue. Yeah, someone made me laugh. That's great. That's great. I appreciate all of you. So question time. Question time. Okay. Have you ever got into, someone's asking what is skirting? Skirting is that horizontal strip that is used to close up the ends of the tile, which is the intersection between the wall and the floor. So you know that most times after tiling, you will have some spaces, maybe just some tiny gaps at the wall or rough edges based on the cutting of the tile. So skirting is that tile that they normally put by the wall. That's 1 meter strip. Okay, do you understand that? That's what they call skirting. Please, if you understand, let me know here that you understand. Do you understand that? Okay, let me show you skirting. Just permit me to show you. This is a skirting. Can you see that? Is it clear now? Now look at, you see how the tiling goes and the skirt is used to close it up. That is what is called skirting. And it can go on and on and on and on and on. All right, great. I'm happy that somebody gets it. I don't know why we are having this. But let's see. All right. All right, great. So I'm here back with you. Okay. Any other question? Any other question before I move to the next item? Good evening. Good evening. Do you have any other question? If you don't have any question, if you find yourself in a situation where you need to determine okay, let me take this question. Do you have to do skirting for all tile work? In some cases, we have skirting that is done with wood. In some cases, we have skirting that is all wall skirting, you know. So like if you get to a kitchen that you have, okay, let me not use kitchen, let's use a toilet. In the toilet, you don't have skirting because you have the tiling on the floor and on the wall. So the wall is tiled all way up, so you don't need a skirting. In some cases too, people use skirting, or rather people use tiling on the wall to treat capillary action when it affects the wall. Okay, so let me not divert on the subject matter. Okay, at this point, I think you need to be talking to me. Great. Let us now talk to the computer again. Any other question before I round up? Understand. Very good. Okay. I think I have something else I would have loved to share. Based on the previous video that I shared with you, is there any question that you think I should address more for your understanding? Yeah, thank you. Is there anything that you would want me to address for more understanding? That's actually why this is a live video, so we can actually interact. I don't like when people retract their messages. You can just leave it because I read it. Even if you made a mistake typing, it's okay, you know, but when you retract, it seems like, okay, that's okay. So any question, Utibe, Ima, and Co, Tommy, and Co, my good friends, is there any other question that you would want me to ask? Okay, let me take this other question. Skirting with tile is actually more preferable or more preferred. Reason being that wood would deteriorate. Tile is more hard wearing than wood. So if you have tile, you can mop that space, but oftentimes people use wood when the space is rubbed, and you know, you don't need to mop the space. So both of them applies. It depends on the climate where you're doing that. Okay, have I answered your question? Another question here is, okay, you want a quick rundown on the calculation? Okay, you know that if this video that you are watching me now will be on live on this platform, so you can always go back to that link and look at what I said, so that we will not keep other people who understood longer than they should stay. Another question here is, okay, what goes first, wall or skirting? Come on. When you build a house with the floor and the wall. So in terms of tiling, maybe what you wanted to ask is what goes first? Is it the wall or the floor? The skirting actually is on the wall, it's not on the floor. So what goes first is the floor. When you do the floor tiling first before you now, you know, get to the wall. Okay? So if wood were to be used, would it be made to stick on the wall? There are other methods of getting wood to the wall. There are adhesives that are being used, like glue, gum, and all those things that are being used. They don't use cement or mortar, no. All right. So if there is a fixed dimension for skirting, yes and no. If it is skirting, it will be thinner. But if you want to just tile your wall, you could make it bigger. That's for you. And yeah, it's actually what I love to do, Solomon. I love to give back knowledge. Unfortunately, it seems like you guys were not ready for me, because I had all the time for you, but I just understood that it's only this platform that we can deal on things in computer. Okay, a quick one. Since we are still in the computer class, would you guys like us to look at ArchiCAD a little bit, what you have a problem with, so that I can quickly just show you how to resolve what you want to do? Is there any problem you have? Yes. It is important to use skirting. Very, very important. When you say compulsory, someone might choose to just tile the wall, so at that point it's not compulsion, but it is important to skirt, especially when you have a ceramic or granite tile, because you will always mop, and when you mop, if you don't skirt, your mop stick will always dirty your wall. For me, I love white spaces, so if you don't skirt, imagine what will happen when you mop the floor. Every time the mop stick will be touching the wall. Okay. Yes, you are not constrained not to use Revit. Revit is actually globally popular and acceptable. Likewise, ArchiCAD is also globally acceptable and popular. But you see, the point is that it is what you choose. It's just a tool. You understand? It's just a tool that you use to draft. There are several other tools that one could use to draft. I don't know if you've seen someone draft with Microsoft Word. Some people could even give you working drawing with PowerPoint. So, like we used to do in those days, you make a scan of your hand sketch and overlay it. So majority of you use Revit. That's not bad at all. You go ahead and use Revit, but for the purpose of what I'm giving you, I'm using ArchiCAD. You understand the point? But I would advise you to use as many as possible, as many software as possible. Stasi, thank you. As many software as possible you can lay your hands on, go ahead and do same. Okay? Go ahead and do same. Like, it is about the mastery. Someone would use Revit and brings a job that you will not be happy, and another person would use ArchiCAD and would bring a job that is very interesting, So it's about mastery. So we should not miss it. Mind you, before now, a lot of persons were using AutoCAD. Are we seeing? Yeah. A lot of persons were using AutoCAD. And some other persons too are using SketchUp. And there are numerous software. So it is, I don't say don't use anyone. As much as you can. Like in my system, I have a lot of them. I have Revit. But as I will tell you, when I started using ArchiCAD, Revit was not there. Are you getting the point? Revit came after. I started using ArchiCAD when ArchiCAD was ArchiCAD 6.0. That's far back. 2001, 2002. That's when I started using it. And I have gone through all of them. Okay, now let me see. Yes, sometimes people use different measurements for sketching, but trust me, it could look awkward when I've seen places where people just decide to use a full tile instead of cutting it. Do you get the point? But this, for the purpose of this exercise, you were given the dimension for you to use and calculate. Oh, have you not watched the video that I sent of Baita? There's a video link that was sent, how to use ArchiCAD, the basics. It was actually the basics, that particular video. Okay? It was the basics. So go ahead and watch it. All right. Who else has something here for me? Come again. You said somebody used what? Blender. I don't get this. Okay, it's not that. What you need to consider is about compatibility, which I talked about in the tips I gave you on CAD. You need to look out for compatibility, because if what you are using is not widely relatable, you might be having issues. You will not be able to transfer your files. Like while Revit seemed to be quite popular, there's been a blend. And you see people who use Revit, you see there's a trend of software they go to. So you may not be doing Revit and you want to use the kind of tools that the ArchiCAD people do, you may run into difficulty in converting. But kudos to IFC. They have created a platform where there is harmonization. You can share files. Like now, I can share ArchiCAD file with Revit. Same with Revit, can share with ArchiCAD, just for you to know the right add-on for you to download and use and save your file as, so that I can open it in my own platform. But trust me, ArchiCAD is quite flexible because it was designed for architects, while Revit is a general tool for engineers. Even though we have Revit architecture, quite okay, but you trust me, the strings in Revit, I wouldn't want to talk about that here. Maybe that would be another video that will talk about that, but let's not mix things up. But I can tell you that as a user of both of them, one seems to be quite flexible, the other is a bit engineering and rigid. So for your creativity to spark, you need to use something that will allow you to do that. Stasi, yeah, I started back then. Okay, and this art, your question, let me read it for others to hear. How do we convince other lecturers to let us use any CAD software for other jury design? Because this manual method is kind of stressful and outdated. I am not disputing your notion about it being outdated. As you could see, that everything I did on my screen, I always, let me show you something. Let me just show you something. Let's get to the screen, okay? Now, look at this screen now. Look at this screen. And I'll quickly zoom this in and I'll take up something here. Before I do any design, I always have my sketch, okay? I always have my sketch, and it helps me go a long way. And let's see if we can open a file, a sketch, living area, blah, 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 blah. Okay, not here, but here. ArchiCAD. Please come with me, just hold on a bit. Let me open this up for you to see. So before I do anything, I always have my sketch uploaded in my system by just scanning. So now, this is a sketch. Can you see? Shall you see? It's a sketch. See? It's a sketch. So how did I get it into this screen now? It is what I sketched with my hand. I put dimensions and I brought it up here. So your design starts with the sketch, because you find yourself in a site, and if you have not built up the know-how for you to be able to develop sketches, it will be difficult. ArchiCAD, Revit, all those software you mentioned, they are just drafting tools to make your work a bit more, how do I call it, a bit more precise and easier to handle. Okay, most of us haven't gotten ArchiCAD yet. You have to get to, because there's an assignment that I'm going to give you, and if I give you an assignment, you need ArchiCAD to do it, because what I will be showing you will require you to get ArchiCAD. So go ahead and download ArchiCAD quickly. Go ahead and do that. You'll thank me in future. You will thank me in future. Get ArchiCAD, download Twinmotion, download Lumion, download V-Ray, download Atlantis, as many as you want to. Just download. ArchiCAD is just a beam tool that will help you in the modeling. Every other one that I mentioned is for rendering. And because you guys in your curriculum, it wasn't there. This is the only CAD course that you have to do, and it's a pity that it's all right. Majority of us use Revit. I know that. Yes, we use Revit. I know that. So we are to use ArchiCAD. Both of them. Use both of them. Okay. Yes. Baita. Introduction to CAD. Yes. It is that same video that is now modeling and drafting. Okay, go and look for the link that they sent to you that is modeling and drafting inside look. That's the thumbnail. Go and look for that video. If you have not subscribed, if you are here and you have not subscribed to my channel or this channel, you just have to, where you link, if you scroll it up, you'll find where my face is. Click on it and hit the subscribe button right now. The essence is that if you hit the subscribe button, whenever I go on live like this, you will get notification, and you will not need anybody to tell you, oh, Architect Okai is online or Dr. Okai is online. You will just get that notification, and you could come up and you have the freedom to ask as many questions as you would want to ask. I wish I have much more time to spend here and share these insightful things with you, but since you guys don't have the computer with you, it gives me a bit of worry. Okay. Sorry, there were other links sent to the group. From who? Is it from me? So the point is that just get to my channel, you'll see those titles, okay? You get to this channel, that's why I say you should subscribe. So how many of you have subscribed? Let me just hear in the comment. If you have subscribed, just say subscribed. If you have, let me know that you have subscribed. But if you have not, it means that the content here is not important for you. I wouldn't bother you. So there is time to do what? Only these few persons have subscribed. If you have not, please. Okay, now those who have subscribed, fine. If you have not, please just type I have not yet. Just type not yet. If you have not, say not yet. Say not yet if you have not subscribed now. Haba, why are you hiding? Okay. Well, so where is that person who have not subscribed yet? See. Stasi, like 2 years ago, right? I can imagine. This is what I want us to do. I'm going to take you on again tomorrow, because I don't want anybody who is on here. There are certain things I won't say here, but just know that I don't want anybody who is up here with me to have any issues. So I would like to go on live again. So can you guys suggest what time do you think is appropriate for me to come up live, so that we run down on a revision? We just do a revision on what you should prepare for on this is one part. This one is compulsory. What we've just done today is very compulsory because you find it everywhere, but there are other aspects too. I would just like to have a rundown. So what time do you think we should come up here again? 10 p.m. So let me have options. Let me have options so that we agree before we log out for today. What time do you think? 8 p.m. Okay, now let me ask two questions. We have two options now, 8 p.m., 10 p.m. Okay, so we have two variables here. Now, the people who say, okay, so the people who say we should do 10 p.m., when we start by 10, what time will we end? Okay, we start by 12, what time will we end? Because it's actually something that will help your memories to be. Are you serious? Are you serious? And Monday that will be Sunday night, and you need to actually get to sleep. And wow. Okay, I like that. I like that. Stasi, why do you say we should do 10 to 12? I feel that if we bring it up a bit earlier, but I don't have any problem with time, because you see, as I am now, you guys will go and sleep. I'll still be up doing some other things to serve some other persons, you know. Actually, this is where I dwell. This is where I love to dwell. Oh, great. Thank you, Solomon, for doing that. This is where I dwell, and I come up here as much as I can. Sometimes I just stay up and do some study. And after I do the study, knowledge is not something, it's not monopolized. So once I find new knowledge, it is for me to come and share here with you. That's why I spend more time. It's not actually, for those of you who know me very well, you know that I'm a workaholic. I spend more time at night walking because I love to do so. And in the daytime, you'll still find me walking. But for your generation, I actually feel that we should spend more time trying out solving some problems. Let me ask somebody a quick question here. For those of you who use Revit, when you finish drawing, do you know how to put your work in layout and publish it without just using the marquee to zoom to print? Do you know how to publish your work in layout? Do you know how to create panels? Do you know how to create templates? That's a question that needs answer. For those of, I see the majority. Okay, let me see, who uses ArchiCAD here? Who uses ArchiCAD here? Nobody's answering. Have they all slept? Which one? ArchiCAD. Great. Okay. So it's only one person I'm seeing here. Is there any other person? Who is Frayo? Who is Frayo? Okay, fine. The point is that if you use ArchiCAD, you have some things to benefit from me, because I'm going to help you out to create your templates. For those of you who may be going for industrial training, some of you may be going for industrial training soon, right? There is need for you. Perfect, Stasi, that's good. And that's what I'm advising these people to do. Use both of them. I use both of them, but if you give me a system and you give me a task, except I am compelled that I must use Revit, there's nothing that will make me use it. Okay? Because my skill with ArchiCAD is not something I will, oh, sorry. It's not something I would like to leave behind. Daniel Francis, sorry, yeah? You still use long hand. Don't let your hand be longer than your, can you put your hand like this? Don't let your hand get all the way. When you started elementary school, were you able to touch your ear with your hand? You're still trying to learn AutoCAD. Okay, both of them are good. You understand? Both of them are good. But as that, let me give you what will shock you. Who are the people who are living this live stream? If people want me to leave, you just tell me I should not be talking and somebody is leaving. No. If you want me to leave, you tell me so that I can gently go. How can you be talking with me and you just go off? Who are those people? Okay, now, just started learning AutoCAD. Let me give you what will shock you. As at 2001, are you hearing me? Some of you were not born, no? Abi? As at 2001, AutoCAD was actually beginning to phase out. Trust me. There are newer models, there are newer versions that are coming. That's where some people now moved into leveraging AutoCAD architecture because of the BIM capabilities. So we cannot be in a generation talking about building information modeling and people are now advancing into virtual reality, augmented reality, and you are now going back to be doing, see, AutoCAD is just like you. Let me not say AutoCAD. Doing two-dimensional work is just like you being on the drawing table. It's quite cumbersome. And I wouldn't advise anybody to, I wouldn't allow anybody to allow himself or herself to be stressing in the generation where computers have made the life quite easy. When people are talking about artificial intelligence, how to be designing with AI, and you guys are still struggling with AutoCAD, sorry. If you have not watched, there's one of my videos here I did, and I was talking about why we still have drawing tables in the design studio. Nobody will tell you. Nobody will tell you. I don't know whether there is any way you see that, but I still have a table that I can sketch. So it's not about the drawing board. It's not about the adjustable. It's just about you being able to make a sketch. Once you make the sketch, the next thing, nobody wants you to start drawing lines and do rendering and hatching and cross-hatching. For what? What's it for? You understand? You don't need that. It pains me when I see a generation that is supposed to be flying. By now we are supposed to be building machines. You understand? You're supposed to be making robots. And I'm sure some of you, that's what drove you into studying architecture. At this level of your study, you should be already an expert in several software, not just one. Do you understand? So, okay. Is Utubima here? If you are okay, that's it. You use Revit. Utubima, I would encourage you, okay? I would encourage you now. You have to. It's about opportunities that will arise in the future. Revit is there, ArchiCAD is there, but let me give you a story that will shock you. I have a friend who traveled to Canada, and most of us here would understand that in Canada there is a lot of use of Revit. So when you have a place where a lot of people use a particular thing, the job market becomes so competitive. Do you know the software that guy was using? He was using ArchiCAD. In fact, he was the same generation of my ArchiCAD learners. So we were doing it together, and he was quite good. He was using ArchiCAD back then as if he was using AutoCAD. Then he advanced and started doing modeling, moved to Atlantis, but he just couldn't leave it because that was his first love, and you know how first love could be. Then, boom, he traveled. He could use Revit a little. Then he traveled, and he was looking for a job. Because of searching for a job, he started just trying hands in Revit, and he just saw one job post that they're looking for an ArchiCAD user. Hey, he applied, attached his portfolio, and guess what happened? He was invited for an interview. He performed very well, and during the interview, they told him that they saw his portfolio and they were wondering if somebody actually used ArchiCAD to perform this. And when they saw it, it was irresistible. They had to invite him for the interview. Do you know, at that interview, he was made an associate director in the firm. This was someone who was just looking for an hourly paid job, but he ended up landing an associate director's job. So he was just so happy. When we were talking, he was now telling me that the employer told him that for years they have been searching for someone with very good ArchiCAD skill, and they couldn't find, because everybody is just Revit, and what they give is not actually as much as yeah, you know, that's the perspective I see it. It's like when you go for a brand that is not used by everyone. You understand? A popular brand is a competitive opportunity level, but a brand that seems, you know, that, as I said, ArchiCAD is older than Revit, and I don't want to talk about the politics of the whole stuff here, so we can talk about it on another platform. Okay, it's just allow me not to say that here, but I know I've had a lot of such arguments in the past years. About 10 years ago we talked about this. Am I saying 10 years ago? Yeah, 13 years ago I talked about this in depth. In fact, one of the opportunities I had when I worked in the private sector was when the firm was migrating from AutoCAD to BIM-enabled firm, and I was amongst the senior architects in the firm, and we were asked, so which one should we move to? And there was consultation across the globe with partners, and partners said, oh, anything that is not AutoCAD is okay. But we had a majority of persons who were inclining to Revit, and partners too out there were also using Revit. So the company tilted to Revit. But we now had one manager who came and he debunked that premise. And his basis was that all these are tools. The guy here who uses ArchiCAD, his performance and delivery is better than the performance and delivery of the person who is using AutoCAD. So why then would you tell him not to use the tool that he's strong at? So that's why I say you can use anyone you feel you are good at and you can express yourself. Go ahead and use it. That's my submission. All right, and I hope this makes someone's evening. Yeah, ArchiCAD has a lot of opportunities, so as Revit also has. I release grace unto you. Receive grace, okay? That's it. So, having said this, and you guys have not had the time to have discussion with me like this in a long time, true or false? Tell me, have you had an opportunity to have discussion with me like this in a while? yeah. Just have to take time. Just have to take my time and give you this. Okay. Yeah, we're going to write. You're going to write. Okay. That's why I say let's come up live tomorrow. So now that you have had time to discuss with me, what do you have to tell me? And what would you have to tell others about me? So time for tomorrow. What time are we agreeing, class? Let's hear. What time are we agreeing? Okay, let's leave it at the convenience time for you. So just put the time. Someone said no time. So we take a vote. Can somebody in your pool? Same time, same station. I think I agree with you. I agree with you. Same time, same station. So we leave it up by 8 p.m. That's where the population lies, so that we can have time to take about 2 hours, if possible, and deal with the things that really matter, so that you come out shining stars, right? That is it. So, as a quick one, I want you all that are here with me to look at this space. I've given you all the information that you need to have. So look at this space. Can you see it? This is funny. You just drew the tiles without. Wow. Yeah. You see, it is not even about the jury. It's about this. What I'm giving you is actually practical, because when you go out to the field, is it clear? It's just one side I want you to take a look at. You might do well to take a snapshot of your screen. Is it clear now? I think it's worse. Is it better? Okay. Since it's better now, look at this area we call the living area. Can you see the dimensions? Stasi, don't hijack this plan. I know that you like to hijack it. Don't hijack this plan, oh Stasi. Yeah. So, since we have done bedroom 1, I want, as a practice, go and try finding the number of tiles for this space. Note, don't look for skirting. Just give me the number of tiles required for this area. So I've given you the area. I'm not telling you to go and start calculating for the area. Let me see who is going to get the answer. You don't need to do it now. you can come back when you do it offline. You can come back and just drop the comments here on this video. Let me see who will get it, and the first person to get the correct number of cartons and pieces for tiling this space. Remember we said 53.74. so what we are looking for is number of tiles in cartons and pieces. So it means that if there is any fraction, you don't convert it, you will give us the pieces. You get the point? Before you go and convert, if you convert, you will not get it. I'm just giving you a hint. Let's see who is going to get it. Okay? Let's see who is going to get it. And I won't tell you what will happen to the person that will get it, but the first person to get it will know what to do. The first person to get it right will know what to do. So if you need me to send this to you, I could, but I think I will take a shot of this and post it in my community tab for those who want to have this plan. So I will take a